Okay, here we are. Live from the Red Lake Nation and Red Lake, Minnesota. My name is John Roberts. I'm a husband, father, social worker, foster parent, comedian. Well, I use the term comedian lightly because right now I don't have any gigs lined up. So, sometime comedian, I suppose. We'll say that. And I just now discovered that I'm getting sick. I don't know where I got the germs from, but I can feel my throat closing up. It hurts to swallow, so I'm gonna assume that's what is that called? Strep throat. So don't come near me like usual, because I don't like people buying. Wow, that'll be kind of rude to say, but welcome. I haven't been on Periscope in over a year and a half, I suppose. I did a live show, one of my comedy shows, in April of 2016, I believe, was the last time I was on Periscope. So I usually do this on Facebook Live, but the comments get a little too distracting, and I'm like a kid. If I see some, I get distracted easily. So we'll try and do it on Periscope right now. On Periscope and looks like Twitter too, I can see. But I'm not going to look at my Twitter because the Twitter feed I'm looking at is like about 10 seconds behind. So it's kind of confusing. But let me reintroduce myself to the people of Periscope / Twitter. My name is John Roberts, enrolled member of the Red Lake Band of Ojibwe. Right now, I'm a little stressed out because of work and very little time to myself, which, wouldn't be too bad because I've never, I've been a father for a very long time, so I've never really had time to myself, and I've discovered that when I do have a little time to myself, I always get in trouble. So that's not a good thing. Not a good thing for me to be by myself. But I'm getting older now. I'm becoming more responsible. I like to try to be positive now, which is what I wasn't always when I was younger, because I was stupid. I was a drunk, not really a hellraiser. I wasn't responsible, we'll put it that way. So, but right now, cruising through Red Lake with work. I was talking about, I was tweeting yesterday how stressful my job is around here. Living in the Red Lake Nation in Ojibwe country. It's I've been living here since the early '80s, and I've never seen it this. It seems like I don't know. These are really difficult times for the people of Red Lake, and I don't know what to do about it. We don't know what to do about it. People are suffering from drug addiction, alcohol, undiagnosed medical or mental health issues, and the way the people of Red Lake deal with that is to try and shame them. They think, our people are desperate, so a lot of them don't have jobs, and they're hungry. They're going to do what they have to do to feed themselves or feed a habit. So that's one of the big issues we're facing right now in Red Lake. And yeah, they declared a state of emergency in July though I don't know what that entails. I like that big word, entails. Me right now, I don't really pay a lot attention to travel politics. I just like to say things online to I don't know, try and be funny. A lot of people don't. Jonny R Comedy isn't an acquired taste. We'll say that. We'll put it that way because a lot of people don't understand that I'm joking. Looks like I have a mullet, but I assure you I do not. It's my sweater. See how easily I get distracted? You know, I've been doing comedy. This will be my ninth. I'm starting my ninth year as a comedian, and the way I was brought up, I always it was always to make light of situations. That's how I deal with stuff, and a lot of the time, it is inappropriate, but it's also funny at the same time, if that makes sense. So that's how I deal with everything in my life. When I get stressed, I end up really, really. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm trying to get at. But growing up in Red Lake, we go through a lot. We've been through so much as a people, and right now it's getting kind of hard to I don't know. We just gotta fuck. I don't know what the fuck I'm trying to say. It seems like I'm repeating everything I say. Like every time I try something new, I talk about what I talked about on the other, like on Facebook Live, and then the podcasting, and then I tried YouTube, going live on YouTube. So it's every time I try something new, it seems like I'm repeating myself. So that runs through my head, but I don't know. Right, I've been getting, on Facebook I joke around a lot about. I got a thing on Facebook where I say when I'm chairman, and whatever the next chairman election is, I say I'm going to do this. I've been doing that since I don't know middle 2000s. Well, actually, social media hasn't been. Maybe 2010. I'd always say I'm chairman when I'm chairman of the Red Lake Nation, and now when I go places now, people are saying, "Hey, there's the next chairman of the Red Lake Nation." I'm joking, and I assume they're joking too, but it's just maybe having a platform like that to speak to a bigger audience about what I would like to see done in Red Lake. Maybe that's what I need to, think to make me feel like I'm doing something for my community. Because right now, all I do is go to work. I'm as a foster or a child protection case manager / social worker, and then I come home to I'm also a foster parent. My wife and I are foster parents, and we have six foster kids at home, plus two of our own are also with us. My two oldest daughters are out on their own, but it gets a little frustrating when at work when you see what a lot of our kids are going through around here. And our office is pretty hectic at times, and they're just it's hard to explain. Those of you that are in you two that are in social work that are watching, that may be in social work, probably understand this, but it is a lot needs to be done for this region, for this reservation, and I don't see that happening anytime soon. Even though there's a lot of people out there, doing what they can, it just it's gonna be a battle, and it shouldn't be that way, but it is. Drugs and alcohol are an escape for our people, but then I don't think they understand addiction, how it is on the body. I'm no expert. I didn't go to school for any of that, but it's just what I see, what I witness, what I've been hearing from the professionals I've worked with. It's you gotta be out there and see it to understand it. And I've been out here. I've been doing this job for 2 years, so I have a good grasp on what's happening in our community, and I and my coworkers, the police, chemical health, the school, everybody's doing their part, but it's just not enough. I don't know when it will be enough. All we can do is just keep on trucking, man, like the great Joe Dirt said. Gotta keep on keeping on. Life's a garden, dig it. Can't believe I just quoted Joe Dirt, but part of my life, I was talking to my coworker today about my philosophies on life. Well, not really, but it just came up that when we were talking about a movie, a lot of the way I see the world comes through movies, and I don't know if that's a lazy way to learn about the world and life, but that's what I chose to do because, I used to read a lot when I was a kid. I still read a lot until I got my first iPhone in 2013. I'd always get magazines, USA Today. I was always reading, but now that I have my phone, everything that I want to read is on my phone. So I'm also saving trees, right? That's got to be good for the environment, So I'm doing that, trying to be helpful, trying to learn. I'd like to read, but the house full of kids, it's kind of difficult to read. So where I'm at right now in life, it's a battle to do what we're doing every day, my wife and I, raising 6 foster kids and 2 of our own. It's really a lot of work. It's really stressful, but it is rewarding. It is rewarding to, we've had our foster kids we have now. We've had them all since birth, so it's not like we don't think of them as foster kids because being that we're all they've ever known, we consider them our own kids. Raise them like our own kids. It just it's not what we planned, but it's just an opportunity came along to help, and we did, But it's a lot of work, rewarding work. So we're gonna keep doing. Honestly, we do get people requesting our home for their kids, for people who get cases open on them. They're trying to. People are requesting us to be the foster parents for their children, which you don't want to turn kids away, but we don't think of it like that. But right now we are at capacity. If by some miracle we were to have a bigger house, a little more help, we would consider taking in more kids, But again, it's a safety issue right now, because my kids they're I have three 3-year old. Well, actually, one turned 4 now. Two 3-year olds, a 2-year old, and two 1-year old, and they're all walking, curious, active, and they're getting faster. That one day I was outside. I turned away for one, 10, 15 seconds, turned one way to look at a couple of them that were there, and then a couple more. They were running off to the woods, so I had to make a decision. Are these ones going to be okay here? Go get those. But we figure it out. We make sure we know where everybody is at all times when we're outside. But we gotta make some modifications to our yard next summer to cage them in. Well, I suppose I call it a fence. Put a fence around the yard, not a cage. I didn't mean to say cage. I'm sorry. That's another thing that I realized on social media. I gotta watch what I say because a lot of my words could get twisted around, and maybe somebody could hear me, out of take something out of context and put my credibility on the line. I've made mistakes when I was young and stupid. I still make mistakes that I'm 41 years old, but I don't want to make mistakes that are gonna, cost me my foster care license, or I don't want to be controversial just to get followers or book comedy gigs. I'm self-conscious. I'm conscious of all that now. I can't just go mouthing off about what I used to do when I was young. I have a responsibility to my family to keep it from getting out of hand, my mouth from getting out of hand. But that's just me. I don't know about you, how you do things. I'm gonna check the stats here on my phone. I'm using my phone because my MacBook, technology just passed me by so fast, so I really don't know what to do or what to press, so I'll just leave it there. But it's a lot going on in the world, man, and it's hard to know what to believe anymore. I was watching Al Franken resign today, and I was saying, man, that motherfucker better go out swinging. If he's gonna resign, he better take Trump with him. So, I caught myself, making excuses for Al Franken. I was thinking, well, he didn't really grope that woman. She had a bulletproof vest on, and he was over her, and trying to kiss her, and I was making up all excuses. It's not that bad. He's doing really good. He's a possible candidate for president in 2020 from my state. And I met him in I think it was 2014. I met Al Franken when he came up to Red Lake. Got a picture with him. I have on my Twitter and Facebook and Instagram right now. Just a quick, how you doing? Good to see you. Snap. All right, thank you. One of those things. I didn't get to know him or anything. We're not bros. We don't text. But it's like one of those, something happens to your family. When somebody in your family does something stupid, you have their back. That's just the way I was brought up, man. Your friends do something stupid, they get in trouble, you have their back. And it was just the same thing, with Franken, because he's from Minnesota. He's born in Minneapolis. I was born in Minneapolis, and it was just. It took me, I sat there for a while, man, pissed off that he had to resign. Shouldn't have resigned, look at what else is going on. Look, those guys are, we got Republicans doing worse. Our own president, grabbing pussies and, bragging about it. And then I start thinking right there, if I start making excuses for Al Franken, that'll just make it sound like I'm sticking up for Trump and Roy Moore and all the others that aren't respectful to women, So that was kind of a eye opener for me, It has to stop somewhere, the whole disrespecting women, and if they don't feel comfortable with it, you're not. It's not up to you to decide what's comfortable for them, how they should feel about what you did to them, and so that's maturity on my part, and I'm really smart now. I think I'm smart now, but that's just one of the things I thought about. And so now the coming week and the upcoming weeks, Franken will be resigning. I suppose to straighten out his, clean up his files or whatever, get his office set for the next Minnesota senator. Sitting duck senator, I suppose. Well, not sitting duck. Got an election coming up next year. Yeah, 2018. Him and Klobuchar will be running for re-election. So, and they're talking about the lieutenant governor of Minnesota right now. Tina Smith could be the next senator from the great state of Minnesota that Mark Dayton will appoint. But I just saw a thing on Facebook where there's a petition for Governor Mark Dayton to appoint Keith Ellison now to the state senate, upcoming Al Franken's seat. So it's going to be interesting. That's another thing about Al Franken. That pissed me off so much was that he was a voice for the Native Americans, even though he was there. A lot of them were mad at him for the wild rice and potentially hurting the wild rice beds or something in the north central part of the state. I just saw that on Facebook, so I didn't look up the actual story, so I don't know that part. Maybe he is bad for Native Americans, but I don't know. I just thought he was, very well informed on the issues that my people face today in this country of pussy grabbing, orange faced, denture falling out asses, But what do I know? Just a kid, just a big fat boy from the res that got his 2-year degree, barely. So I don't know. That's what I was thinking. That's my thoughts on it. As for other stuff, me becoming running for chairman, just to have a platform to mouth, well, not really mouth off, but just to have people hear my concerns. I see a lot. I wanna contribute to the betterment of my reservation, my Red Lake reservation. So maybe I will do that just to be heard, because otherwise I'm gonna be ignored. People don't even hire me for comedy gigs anymore because of maybe I'm not funny, maybe I'm a liability in comedy, but I sure do have fun out there. It is a lot of fun. So I'll keep on being a comedian, even if people aren't. I'm not in demand, So, but I'm still keep doing it because it's fun when I get on that stage. If there's an awesome crowd and they just, if you get an awesome crowd and they're loving everything you say, that's why I do it. That's why I'll probably never walk away from it, because it is a lot of fun. It feeds my ego, And And we all need our ego fed regularly. But I had so much more to talk about, and now that I'm blanking out, I forgot what I was gonna say. No, this is not a mullet. It's my sweatshirt with a hood. The kids call it hoodies nowadays. Back in my day, they were called sweaters. And I haven't had a haircut since October 7th. I haven't had a drink of alcohol since August 3rd. I haven't had a drink of soda pop since October 26th. So I'm a little on edge, you know. I don't have my normal fuel in me. Though I do have the occasional candy now, but now my teeth are really hurting, so I should never. I'm getting old. I gotta watch what I eat. Obviously, I feel like 900 pounds, and it's not comfortable. So maybe I'll do something about that. But the positive thing about me quitting soda pop is my son also quit. So I don't know if it was because of me that he quit, but I know my nephew, I think he's going on 2 years without having soda. So, but soda's bad, but it tastes so good, even though I haven't had it in a while. But yeah, man, I'm just here. I want everything to be pretty. Wow, that's a little sexist, I suppose. I want everything to be well taken care of. I don't want our people to suffer from addiction anymore. I don't want our children to have to pay for these addictions that's consuming my reservation. And I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I suppose it's a group effort, you know. All the drug dealers have to say, "Hey, man, I'm sick of making this money and killing my people," but you know, money makes the world go round. Is that how you say it? Is that right? I don't know. I don't remember. I think that's all I got, man. That's a Red Lake word. It's supposed to be I'm going to, but it's Share that with your people.